welcome to this new episode of Continuum Gaming, and this time it's a little bit delayed, but you already know about that. I told you in the last episode that I'm going to go on vacation, and yeah, I went on a vacation, so in the end I couldn't do one at my vacation time, but now I'm going to more or less get it done. And yeah, in the end we are going to have a look at 3 different games again today, and that are Align, Ludo and Challenge Accepted. My name is Gerald. As always, I've got a couple of different things with me, which are, for instance, this Bluetooth mouse. It's just a Bluetooth mouse which can be connected, for instance, with a TV or the smartphone. In our case, we are going to connect it to a smartphone, of course. And other than that, we are going to use a foldable keyboard, which is this one. And of course, we are going to use my Lumia 950 XL. And it's this smartphone, which is of course Windows 10 mobile powered and is Continuum enabled with a USB-C connector at the bottom, which can be connected to my display dock, which is standing here, this little box here. It's more or less a USB-C hub. And other than that, I'm going to connect, or I have connected more or less the display dock here to the TV by HDMI in this case, and like that, the smartphone is going to create for us a desktop-like experience like this one, and we are going to use that more or less to play games in this case. And if you want to know more about that, please have a look at the corner up there. There are a couple of the other videos where I'm going to talk about that more in depth. And other than that, I would say let's start with the first game. As mentioned before, Align, Ludo and Challenge Accepted are the games for this episode, and we are going to start with Align. So for that I'm going to go to my all apps list here with my mouse, of course, and now let's see if I can find that game. I'm going to go to that search box up there and I'm going to go into that. There is Align. Align is a funny little game. I'm not sure how to tell you about it. It's more or less very simple, but somehow fun. You're going to try to create more points. I don't even know if you can really see it in a good way. Let's try that. Yeah, that's a better thing. As you can see, we have some kind of a counter. So some kind of a score in this case. And in the end, what we are going to try to do is we are going to get all the different balls of one color, or at least 5 balls of them, in one line, so they're going to get away. It can be a line which is horizontal, vertical and diagonal. I'm not sure. So sorry about that. I think it's going to be that, or cross-like, you know. And in the end, what we are going to have to do here is doing it in a fast way, so that first off, there are enough playroom for us to do what we want to do. And in the end, what we are going to do is you're just going to select one of the balls here and put it somewhere else. And the problem is there are going to appear new balls after each step, more or less. So you have to get everything done in a reasonable time. It's not really hard, especially since I figured that more or less if you are playing it for a while and you have, for instance, 4 balls in a row or something, sometimes the game is really helping you in some cases. And yeah, other than that, just get them, put them in the right direction. Just to let you know, you can't move everything everywhere. You have to have some kind of a path to go there. So if it's not going to be possible to move, for instance, the yellow ball to this position, as you can see, there's this little sign popping up. And that's more or less your fault. You have to get rid of that so that it can happen again. And other than that, just try to get everything to work. As you can see, the balls are going to step around and walk through the point where it has to be. And as you can see, now we can, for instance, put this ball here and get the row more or less done there. Yeah, and this is more or less what the game is all about. You are just going to try to play it like this, and in the end I don't think you can win this ever, but it is interesting to try to stay alive as long as you can, and of course just raise your points, raise your score there, And that is more or less what the game is all about. Very simple to play, everybody can play it in a very easy way. It's not really much of a thinking game or something, but in the end, if you like this kind of little puzzle challenge but not too heavy on the mind or something, then you might want to try this game out. I really like it for its simplicity, and if you really just have a couple of minutes to spend and want to get rid of some time or something, this is a good one for that. Okay, so let's have a look at the second game. The second game is more or less a classic. It's called Ludo, and it's exactly that. In German it would be Mensch, ärgere dich nicht, and which means more or less human, please don't get angry or something, or don't be upset. And in the end, what you are going to play here is really a classical Ludo game. There are a couple of other options too, but let's go in and I will show you Ludo All Star, classic dice game. I will show you how that one is done and what you have to do in this case. Just let it load for a couple of seconds, and then you are going to be presented with this play game. As you can see, there are a couple of options here to do. For instance, you can go with a computer match, so against a computer, or you can play a local multiplayer game where you are just, for instance, handing over your smartphone, or in this case, play at one big screen together. If you don't have, for instance, the game itself as more or less a real life game set or something. Okay, so let's go in and have a look at the game against the computer. As you can see, you can have a couple of different options activated here. For now, we are going to play against one other player here. And as you can see, you're just going to click on the play or on the button here for the dice more or less to be rolled. And if you're going to do that, it's really the classic set that you already know about. So, for instance, to get one of the play figures out, you have to get the 6 points, more or less. So, at the moment, you are going to have 3 different play options, I think. So, you're going to roll 3 times in a row. If you get a 6, perfect. If not, as you can see, the computer has no one. CPU got that. Oh, come on. 3 times in a row, yeah? No, okay. So, let's go and see what we can do here. Yeah, seems like I didn't get it and the computer has to go again. And as you can see, he's going to roll now and try to get everything in. The aim of the game, just go around this play game and put everything in those those arrows you see here. So the red ones, the red arrow or whatever, is what you are going to want to fill up, and if you filled it up, then you won the game. In the end, as always, if you are going to be stepped over by a challenger or by the competing party in this case, then you're going to get more or less put back into your home, and you have to start again. And that is why that game is called Mensch, ärgere dich nicht, human, don't be upset or something. And because it can be very, very frustrating if you, for instance, like me, had a couple of throws or rolls here and you didn't get anything, but there we go. But then the enemy is going to kick you out of the game, for instance, with your own only play figure out or something. That's the worst thing that can happen. And just to let you know, it's a more or less automatic game after pressing the button to roll, because then the computer will, in most cases, just select the best figure, move it and put it where it needs to go. If you have a couple of options, you are able to select them. So you are going to be the guy who is, or the girl, who is trying to get everything done here. Hopefully I can get out of the house here. This is called the house. Come on. Be fair, give me a 6. Yeah, there we go. Okay, so we got a 6, and now we can select one of the play figures just to go out, as you can see, and after that you are allowed to play again. And as you can see, since we only have one option to go here, because I can't put out myself or something there, we are going to be able to play again and roll again. And in this case, the rules are more or less, if you get a 6 and a 6 again, then you're just able to roll again, but you are not able to go 6 points or something because of the second one. But it's really all about just going 2 points further. Yeah, and this is more or less what this game is all about. If you're running over those pyramids here, it seems like you get the points you played before that a second time in a row. Don't know why. Not something I'm used to, but still sounds like a solid game, is fun to play. And so try it out if you like Ludo. And the good thing is it's running in the background, so you can even more or less, I don't know if you can close it, but you can just go and grab yourself a coffee or something to play this game furthermore if you want to afterwards. Yeah, and now let's have a look at the third game in the row, which is going to be Challenge Accepted. And that game is a pretty neat one because it is not one game, not two, it's 20 games, I think, or 12 or 20 games. We will have a look at that. Fun little character which is going to be more or less all around. You are all in the mini games you're going to play, because it's a mini game, more or less game. So all the different mini games in one game packed, and this little character, this turtle, is going to more or less go with you all the time. So let's see what's going on. Needs a little bit to load, but not too bad. There we go. And as you can see there, the little character is there again. An avatar more or less, who is going to more or less follow you around. You can do different things with him. For instance, if you don't want, let's click here. If you don't want him, you can, for instance, get an update to other animals here. But in the end, for now, we can't do that because we are not in the right level to do that, and we have to more or less gain points for that. Other than that, you can of course have a look at this. I would suggest you to get rid of the push notifications here. Other than that, just leave it like it is. And you are going to be able to go to Uber, so train something, or you can go to start, whatever you want to do here. And let's go to start for now. You can do L or party. I'm going to party in this game because I just don't want the points or something. And as you can see, if somebody else wants to join you now, you can do Takey MB and go in there. It's a fun little game because you really can play it with other people all around the world, more or less, with this code. And then other people are going to join you if you give this over. So let's go out here. And yeah, dual, same thing. We're not going to do that. We are going to try it out first, just to be able to show you something what's going on here, because there are a lot of games, as you can see. We've got 20 of them. And just to show you what one of those can be, it's for instance this one, a very classical game. There is our character again, and what you are going to do is you are going to put up those little boxes here as long as you can, and if one of them is going to fall down because you didn't have any kind of transition, you are going to play it again and again and again. And just to let you know, if you are in this training mode, then this will never end, so you will have to click on the back button someday, so you can play one of the other games too. So let's see what we can do. For instance, Block is another game, very simple to play but nice to have. Going to be played with the keyboard in this case, because that's just the easier one. In this case, you are going to have to go around by clicking on the buttons here. As you can see, what we are going to do here is, okay, dropping off. But in the end, what we are going to do here is we are going to use the keyboard keys in this case to navigate around and get to this position in the right way. So you really have to put oh, sorry, wrong button. Let's start again. Okay, sorry. let's see, this one is the only one we can do. We can go there, we can go there, we can go there, 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 there. And we're going to drop off because I'm stupid as fuck. Whatever. So in the end, as you can see, this is a game you're going to play in this case. If you are reaching one of the green points, for instance, you're probably going to need it because it's really meant to get you out of the game in this case. How would I play this? Do I need to go to this position, then this position? This position, this position, this position. Okay. So as you can see, you get a rating more or less for the seconds you need for that, and then you are going to win it. As mentioned before, if you are going to play it in the training mode more or less, then you are going to restart the game over and over and over, not receiving any points for it, of course. And in other options, you are going to play against others, so be faster than them, and so on and so forth. Countdown, for instance, is another game you can play. It's more or less that you will have to figure out when a countdown is going to start to be reached. In this case, for some kind of a cinema part, and as you can see, 3, 2, 1, probably now. Okay. This is more or less a delta you got from the real part when the movie would start, and the images are going to freeze more or less. So you have to guess when is the right time to get that counted to 0. Then there is arrow. Arrow is just for shooting arrows on target more or less. You have a certain amount of time for that, and you will have to put it into this 10 to win this. So it's not too much help. There we go, we got it. One more. Yeah, okay. So all the points are going to be calculated more or less, and like that you are going to receive one of them with wind involved and stuff like that. It's fun to play, and as you can see, the small little character is still there to follow you around. And now let's see, what is the next one? Okay, let's have a look at sound memory in this case again. And as you can see, there are a couple of different other games too, which are probably very, very much fun. For instance, car racing and so on and so forth. But let's use sound memory. As you can see in this case, we have to more or less follow the given melody. Okay, that was wrong. But in the end we have to follow the given melody to get the right sound points and so on and so forth. And just try it out, there are a lot of different mini games, so this game is really more or less a couple of games in itself. And I really like the game for what it is and what it can do, and the optics are nice. It's just fun to play, just try it out. I think it's worth your time. Okay, and other than that, I would say we are at the end of the review. Please don't forget to give it a thumbs up if you liked it. Subscribe to the channel if you didn't, and if you have any kind of questions or whatever, put them down below into the commentary section, and I'm going to try to answer them, of course. And other than that, thank you for watching, thank you for listening. We will see us in the next episode next week probably, and other than that, have a great day, have a great night, and bye.